Today, we are going to take a look at a BodyViz brain builder about the urinary bladder and incontinence. In this brain builder, we will discuss the anatomy of the urinary bladder and the control mechanisms that support urination. Then, we will discuss the various types of urinary incontinence and take a look at a case study. The urinary bladder lies posterior to the pubic symphysis, anterior to the rectum, and inferior to the peritoneum. It is a hollow, flexible organ made of smooth muscles whose shape may remind you of an upside-down pear. When full, it holds approximately 300 to 500 milliliters of urine. That's a little more than a 16-ounce water bottle. The bladder wall is composed of the mucosa, made of highly elastic transitional epithelium, the muscularis, and the adventitia. Together, the three layers of the muscularis form the detrusor muscle. The trigone is a triangular structure on the floor of the bladder with three openings. Urine from the kidneys enters the bladder through the two lateral ureteral orifices at the base. Urine exits the bladder through the internal urethral orifice at the apex of the trigone. The process of the bladder emptying is called micturition. Both autonomic and somatic nerves are used in the process of micturition. Two urinary sphincters open and close to manage the release of urine. The involuntary urinary sphincter surrounds the internal urethral orifice. The sphincter is closed when the detrusor muscle is relaxed. When the detrusor muscle contracts, it changes the shape of the involuntary urinary sphincter, causing it to open. While the bladder is empty, the sympathetic autonomic nervous system keeps the detrusor muscle relaxed, so the sphincter remains closed. Just inferior to the involuntary urinary sphincter, the urethra is surrounded by a ring of skeletal muscle, which forms the voluntary urethral sphincter. Skeletal muscle is controlled consciously by the somatic nervous system. When the bladder is full, two neurological processes control emptying: the spinal cord reflex. As the urinary bladder fills, the stretch receptors within its walls initiate two reflexes. One activates the parasympathetic nervous system and causes the detrusor muscle to contract. This contraction causes the internal sphincter shape to change so that it opens. The other reflex inhibits the ability of sympathetic nervous fibers to keep the detrusor muscle relaxed and the internal sphincter closed. CNS stimulation. Descending fibers from the brain allow one to initiate urination or prevent involuntary urination. Urinary incontinence is described as the inability to control the emptying of one's bladder. The muscles supporting the bladder tend to weaken with age, which may lead to incontinence, as may other underlying pathologies or neurologic damage. Females are at a higher risk of developing urinary incontinence. Overweight individuals, smokers, diabetics, and those with a family history of urinary incontinence are also at an increased risk. There are 6 recognized types of urinary incontinence. In reflex incontinence, the detrusor muscle contracts without warning or urge, causing a large urine leak. This is usually a result of damaged sensory nerves in the bladder that can no longer accurately signal fullness. This is found in some individuals with multiple sclerosis or spinal cord injuries. Individuals with overflow incontinence are unable to completely empty their bladder due to prostate enlargement, tumors, scar tissue, urinary bladder stones, or an underactive bladder. Once the bladder becomes overfilled, the shape of the internal sphincter changes, allowing leakage. In functional incontinence, the urinary tract itself functions properly, but other health conditions such as kidney damage, mental health problems, cellulitis, and urinary tract infections prevent the bladder from emptying properly. The root causes of stress incontinence are weak pelvic floor muscles or a weak urethral sphincter. This is often associated with aging, but also commonly occurs in females after pregnancy and/or childbirth. Abdominal pressure on the bladder from movements like laughing, jumping, or coughing causes spontaneous emptying. Urge incontinence, known as overactive bladder, causes an extreme urge to urinate even though the bladder is not full. This extreme urge can cause bladder leakage before reaching a bathroom. Mixed incontinence includes symptoms of both an overactive bladder and stress incontinence. A physician can usually diagnose the type of urinary incontinence by evaluating the symptoms and measuring and testing the urine. Sometimes more testing or a pelvic ultrasound is used to help diagnose. Outside of medication, several treatment options are available. Bladder training uses physical exercises to strengthen the muscles of the pelvic floor or scheduled bathroom trips to increase muscular endurance. Condition management involves treating the causal conditions of urinary incontinence symptoms, as in cases of urinary tract infections. Behavior therapy requires changes to the individual's lifestyle, such as managing diet or fluid intake, or using the bathroom before feeling the urge to urinate. Weight loss can reduce pressure on the bladder, helping reduce or eliminate incontinence. In severe cases, a urinary catheter or surgery may be recommended if other treatments are ineffective. A physician will help find a treatment that suits the degree and duration of symptoms. The right treatment can greatly improve quality of life for someone struggling with urinary incontinence. Let's take a look at a patient example. You receive your patient's file and take a look. Age 57, sex female, chief complaints frequent urge to urinate and occasional urine leaks. You invite the patient into your office for an examination. You review your patient's family history and begin by asking about her symptoms. How often does she feel the urge to urinate? Do urine leaks occur specifically with movement or exercise? When did these symptoms begin, and have they been continuous or do they come and go? After you test her urine for infection to rule out other conditions possibly causing frequent urination, you decide to take a pelvic ultrasound. This shows that her bladder is fully emptying when she urinates. You diagnosed your patient with mixed incontinence, a combination of urge and stress incontinence. You assure her that this is not an inevitable part of aging or a given result of childbearing, and get to work on a treatment plan. You first recommend that she keep a bladder diary to track how often she urinates. Then, she can slowly add 15 minutes between each bathroom trip, with the goal of training her bladder to hold more urine before feeling the urge to urinate. You also recommend pelvic floor exercises to strengthen the muscles for conscious bladder control. In the meantime, you suggest incontinence pads to help her feel more comfortable and confident against leaks. This has been a classic example of urinary incontinence. Thank you for watching this Brain Builder video. Please like and subscribe to our BodyViz channel, or if you are new at BodyViz, check out our other anatomy resources and schedule a demo at bodyviz.com.